The dawn march. The sky bleeds pale fire along the eastern edge of the flatland. Shadows retreat from scattered thorn trees, withdrawing like dark water into crevices and hollows. Heat begins its slow climb from the cracked earth, rising invisible through air that has not yet begun to shimmer. A cluster of low rocks holds darkness beneath its overhang. Inside, 7 bodies stir against one another. Limbs untangle with careful slowness. Eyes open to gray light, filtering through the gap between stone and ground. Breath mingles in the confined space, warm, rhythmic, constant through the night hours. No sound passes between them. The tallest rises first. Narrow shoulders, long arms hanging past the hip, skin dark as wet bark. She moves to the opening and stands, head emerging into open air. Her eyes sweep the expanse of yellowed grass, stretching toward distant rises. Her head tilts. She listens to the morning, the distant bark of something unseen, the rustle of wind through dry stalks, the absence of certain sounds that would mean danger close. Behind her, another straightens, shorter, broader across the chest, scars pale against dark forearms, where old wounds have healed in raised lines. He watches her posture, reads the angle of her spine, the position of her hands. She remains still, safe. One by one, they emerge into the morning. 3 more adults, 2 smaller forms pressed close to their sides. They do not speak. One runs a hand along another's shoulder blade, fingers tracing the ridge of bone beneath skin. Another touches the crown of a child's head, smoothing hair matted from sleep. They move into the open space before the rocks. The grass reaches their thighs, seed heads bobbing at waist level. Each step releases the scent of dust and dry vegetation, of earth baked through countless days without rain. Above, vultures circle patterns in the warming air, riding currents invisible from below. The group walks in a loose formation, the 2 youngest always centered, never exposed to the perimeter, always within arm's reach of at least 2 adults. The tall one leads. Her gaze sweeps left, right, behind. The others do the same. Their heads never stop moving, eyes tracking movement in grass, shadows beneath trees, shapes against the horizon. They come to a patch of low shrubs after a slow walk across open ground. Twisted branches bear small, dark fruits, wrinkled and dusty. Hands reach out, pluck them from stems, bring the food to mouths. The taste is bitter, barely sweet. Seeds are spat into palms and dropped onto the earth below. A woman with a swollen belly leans down with effort, her fingers working quickly through the lower branches where fruit still hangs in shade. The child beside her mimics the motion, slower, clumsier, examining each piece before eating. The broad-shouldered one turns his back to the group and faces outward. He stands motionless, weight balanced on both feet, arms loose at his sides. Minutes pass. A bird calls from somewhere distant. He does not move. The sun climbs higher. Flies appear in humming clouds, drawn by the scent of bodies. Hands wave them away without thought. They continue across the open ground. The land slopes gently downward. Ahead, a line of darker vegetation marks where water sometimes runs during the seasons of rain. The dry season has turned the channel to powder, but the trees that grew there remain, roots deep enough to find moisture far below. The tall one stops. Her arm lifts, fingers spread wide, palm pressed down toward earth. The others freeze mid-step. Every eye follows her gaze across the descending slope. 50 paces distant, half hidden by a stand of twisted wood, with bark hanging in strips. Something dark sprawls across the pale earth. Large, unmoving. The group waits. The wind shifts direction, coming now from where the shape lies. A smell reaches them, thick, sweet, beginning to sour in the heat. Meat, death, recent but not fresh. The tall one looks back over her shoulder, meets the eyes of the broad-shouldered one. He holds her gaze for a long moment. He nods once. She gestures, forward, slow, careful. They approach in a line, slightly curved, maintaining distance from one another. The children are pushed behind the adults, small bodies guided by firm hands. Their small fingers grip the hips of those in front. The shape resolves as they near. Long legs folded beneath massive bulk, joints bent at unnatural angles. Gray hide split open along the flank, exposing dark red meat beneath, already crawling with small black bodies. Ribs gleam white in the climbing sun, stripped clean in places. The head is intact, trunk extended on the ground, eye sockets empty. No other creatures are visible around the carcass. The group stops 10 paces away. They watch the dead thing. They watch the grass surrounding it, looking for movement. They watch the trees beyond, scanning shadows. They watch the sky for birds descending or fleeing. Nothing moves. The tall one takes 3 steps forward. The others remain fixed in position. She crouches slowly, knees bending, one hand touching earth for balance. Her other hand reaches out, touches the exposed meat at the torn edge of hide. The flesh is cool, firm. She pulls away a small piece, raises it to her nose. Her lips pull back from her teeth. The smell is wrong, too far gone. She drops it and wipes her fingers on her thigh. A sound, low, guttural, not wind, not bird. Everyone turns toward the source. From the shadow beneath a nearby acacia, something emerges into sunlight. Low to the ground, moving with deliberate purpose. Thick body covered in coarse gray fur, muscle visible beneath with each movement. Small, dark eyes, set in a broad face, watching them. The mouth opens slowly. Teeth show, long, pale, curved like hooks. The creature advances slowly toward the carcass. Its back hunches. Its head lowers. The sound comes again from deep in its chest. The group steps backward as one. The tall one moves with them, angling her body to keep herself between the children and the approaching animal. Her hands are open, ready. The creature stops at the carcass. It does not feed. It stares at the group. It makes the sound again, deeper now, rising from the chest, vibrating through the air. A warning. No one moves. Breathing is shallow, quiet. The child pressed against the pregnant woman's leg makes a small noise, fear escaping as a whimper. The woman's hand drops immediately, clamps over the small mouth. Silence returns. The creature's head swivels toward the sound. Its ears rotate forward. It takes one step away from the carcass, toward them. The grass to its left explodes upward. A shape erupts from concealment. Long, thick as a man's torso, patterned in diamonds of brown and gold. It flows across the ground faster than thought, muscles rippling beneath scales that catch sunlight. The creature spins, mouth opening wide, but the shape is already upon it. It strikes with coils that wrap and tighten in a single fluid motion around the gray body. The creature howls. Its jaws snap shut on air. Its claws rake across the scales, finding no purchase. The coils tighten, constricting. Ribs begin to compress. The howl becomes a wheeze. The group does not wait to see more. They turn and run. Not scattered, together. The tall one grabs the arm of the nearest child, pulling them along. The broad-shouldered one sweeps up the other small body, tucking the child against his chest. The pregnant woman runs in the center, flanked on both sides by the remaining adults. They move as a single shape across the grass, feet pounding earth in rhythm. Behind them, snarls echo across the plain. The wet sound of crushing, of bones breaking. A high-pitched scream that cuts off suddenly. They do not look back. They run until the sound fades into distance, until their breath comes in gasps that burn the throat, until the tall one stops abruptly and raises her hand again. They halt, chests heaving, ribs expanding and contracting rapidly, eyes wide. The children are set down, but kept close, immediately surrounded. The broad-shouldered one turns, watching the way they came. The pregnant woman bends forward, hands on her knees, mouth open. The tall one scans the horizon in all directions, turning slowly, looking for pursuit. No pursuit comes. The grass behind them remains still. Minutes pass. Breathing slows gradually. Heartbeats quiet from thunder to steady drum. One of the adults, a woman with gray beginning to show in her hair, touches another's shoulder. The gesture is brief, but deliberate. The second leans into the touch for a moment, then straightens. Hands are placed on the children's heads, smoothing hair, checking for injury. Fingers squeeze arms. Everyone is whole. Everyone is present. The tall one looks at the sun, now high overhead. She looks at the others, meeting each pair of eyes in turn. Her chin lifts toward a different direction, away from the water channel, away from the carcass and the fight, toward open ground where they can see anything approaching. They begin walking again. The pace is steady, but not rushed. The formation reforms, children-centered, adults on the perimeter. The grass parts before them. The heat rises in waves that distort the horizon. Vultures still circle far behind them now, descending in spirals toward the feast left behind. No food was taken. No meat was carried away. No blood was spilled by their hands. No victory was claimed. But feet still move across ancient earth. Hearts still beat in living chests. Lungs still draw breath. The group continues across the plain, unhurried now, together, while the sun tracks its arc through the white sky above. Ahead, more grass, more distance, more day remaining. They walk until the place of death is far behind, until new ground spreads before them. The sky begins its slow fade toward evening gold.